Podcast, yay.
Uh,
Yay!
I have had an incredibly short week.
Oh
hmm
no. That's
Mostly
You
that's
just
unfortunate that it's almost like me and Zero said basically the same thing like 30 seconds before you joined the call.
ah, well,
I
just
was,
a short episode then.
I was thinking maybe I should do something just so I could talk about it on the podcast.
Hmm.
uh, because I mean they did release the last DLC for Scarlet and Violet, the Teal Mask.
They did. You're in Merkenland again for that one, right?
Yeah. It's like you go to a different school and it's apparently more battle focused. Um, you already know Unova, yeah.
Yeah. It is the sister school of which
Of whatever Scarlet or Violet Academy you were at,
yeah.
because they changed the name depending on which version.
Yeah. I appreciate how both games have moderately different aesthetics depending on which version you have. That's kind of cool. Like Black and White did that too, and that was cool.
hmm
But yeah, it makes it a little more difficult to talk about the game and elements within.
Yeah. You also need to, in order to get to the Indigo disc, you have to beat the Teal Mask DLC
Mm,
because it's a part one, part two, and it's a continuous story between them.
mm,
But I still don't want to play the Teal Mask because the game runs like it's in molasses,
mm.
and it's really you know that feeling of like, oh man, I have things to do. I only have a little bit of time to play, and that makes you like kind of impatient for stuff in games.
Mm.
What's the frame rate?
Um, I believe it dips low. Um, a lot of the performance issues that were in Scarlet and Violet when it launched are still there. I'd say most of them are.
Mm.
Um,
Did they stop rendering the entire planet of water?
no, why would they ever do that?
Mm. I mean, that's
Or,
that's just immersion right there. That's
yeah.
valuable. Feel like the whole world is right there in front of you because it literally is.
And I know we don't have random encounters, but we still have the rapid pop in whenever a Pokemon is within 6 feet of you, and pop out whenever it goes 6 feet away from you. So I mean, it's technically random if you're on your motorcycle and trying to go fast, and things just appear in front of your wheels,
Mm.
and they just spawn in right there. Oh, it's mm.
I've definitely played some games like that where the draw distance was way too low, so driving anything was dangerous.
And the game speed is tied to the frame rate, and the frame rate go low. So yeah. Apparently, though, the battles in the new DLC are actually smartly constructed, and I've heard people who have like really high level teams are actually having trouble because the AI for the trainers has increased significantly. They're making smarter decisions. They have held items, and they're making use of their abilities and such.
Hmm.
So that's all really good to hear, and I actually want to go and give it a try.
I
I
mean,
just
in
yeah.
fairness, AI is probably the least part of what's required to make an a difficult encounter in Pokemon battle. Like 90% of it is set up, and then the rest of it is don't pick a stupid move.
Yeah, but the enemy trainers are doing picking like good moves. They're not picking moves at random, it seems, which is an improvement.
In fairness, that was always kind of a thing. Like, while Pokemon did have differentiated AI from trainers, in that wild Pokemon did absolutely just pick a random move, but trainers would usually know not to, say, use hypnosis on a sleeping Pokemon, for example.
Yeah, that's fair. Kind of is weird that like the you get the that they have the paradox Pokemon of the past and the future ones.
Yeah.
So Scarlet gets the Johto. No, yeah, no, yeah. Scarlet gets the Johto dogs. And they're in new forms. So you get Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and then Violet gets mecha forms of the Three Musketeers.
Right, yeah. From Unova.
Yeah, which they're kind of my least favorite mythicals.
Yeah, like, I mean, the alternative. I don't know if anyone actually cares about the Diamond and Pearl trio. Like, that was Azelf and all the others.
Yeah,
Mesprit, I think, was one of them. And then you got the legendary birds, but while I love the legendary birds, they're a bit played out at this point.
mm-hmm.
And then you've got the fucking Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, which would be cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be alright with that. Just robot. They would literally just be kaiju, robot kaiju.
Yeah.
That would be cool as hell.
Mecha Groudon looking like Mecha Godzilla. I'd be down for that.
Actually, yeah, I have talked myself into thinking this was a better idea than what they went with. But oh well.
But
Then again, it's a different thing. Like, that's a different tier of legendary. Like, the thing was with the dogs, they were legendaries, but they weren't the box legendary, I guess
mm-hmm.
you could call it. Whereas that was the case for the Emerald Trio. What were the other legendaries for Emerald? I can't even remember.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah, this is very much a
Deoxys.
hey Bulbapedia, answer the question for me kind of thing.
Deoxys.
That was well, that wasn't Deoxys.
Oh, the Regis. It was the Regis.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a bit redundant to make those mechas. Like, one of them is literally made of steel already.
They also they also did recently add new Regis, so
That's true.
in the last game, so
shit. I don't know enough about Gen 6 to say whether there's anything worthwhile in Gen 6. As a trio. Same for Gen 7.
Weird.
And
Gen 6 was like the weird time in which the whole like event limited Pokemon really was like at its worst. Because here's Hoopa and Volcanion and Deontay, and most people don't really know about those Pokemon.
I have heard of Deontay and I've heard of Hoopa in terms of, wow, that sounds like a stupid name.
Yeah.
That's literally all I know about it. I assume it looks like a hoop.
So okay, I'll post an image so you can see. It's supposed to be a genie, and it has a confined form, and it has its like unreleased form, and its whole thing is it creates portals and such.
It does have hoops. I will give it that.
It does have hoops. Yeah, and so I think there's even a problem because wasn't like Hoopa can only go into like unbound form because of like mega evolution or something, so it can't go into unbound form. But I'm just musing to myself.
Yeah,
but
spitballing, yeah.
Yeah, it's all I know about Hoopa is that it's the device they use to explain characters appearing in the Gacha Master Sex game.
It's always funny.
Yeah, no.
You know what? Landorus, Thunderous, and other one that I forget.
Tornadus.
Tornadus, yeah. Robot forms.
Honestly, like making them into sort of weather machines.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
They have 100 new returning Pokemon. A lot of them being there's a lot of Gen 1 in there.
There's always going to be a lot of Gen 1 in the returning ones.
But,
It's like,
but,
hey, remember old heads? This is fucking... Yeah.
but also like a lot of legendaries that previously you just couldn't bring into the game at all. As well as starters. And they brought back throwing styles, so you can change how you... Hold on one second.
How you doing, Slicer? Still with
Pretty
us?
good. So very lost.
Yeah.
But that's not surprising. Pokemon
Nope, not
Talker
played
says
Pokemon
that.
in a while.
No, I don't been ages.
I'm back. Sorry, they brought back the way you can customize the way you throw Pokeballs and stuff, and like a bunch of other new activities and things. I'll probably look
Is
at that
that-
later.
Is that a gameplay difference or a cosmetic difference?
It's a cosmetic. You can just change the animation of how you throw your Pokeball.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if certain Pokemon or certain body types or something were easier to catch if you threw a different direction or...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to do a crossover with NBA 2K, so you can get Larry Bird's free throw as Pokemon throwing stuff. But you got to pay like $30 in gotcha money to do it.
So
I made that joke forgetting that there is a Pokemon gotcha, that Pokemon
Yeah.
Master Sex exists.
yeah,
Still can't play that,
Well-
by the way. It's still
Mm.
completely blocked on emulators. They still don't want my money, so, you know.
thanks, Pokemon Master Sex. Speaking of gotchas, there's a kind of a funny thing that happened this week in terms of gotcha news. So I've been playing Honkai Star Rail, and they, because they won like the Game Awards and such, announced that one of the upcoming limited 5 stars they were going to give is free.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a free copy.
That's a thing we can talk about because I have a rant about that. I hate
And-
that. I hate that shit. I hate it every time it happens. Because you know what that is? That's vote manipulation. That is, everyone knows that if this gacha game wins an award, then they will give the player base free stuff, which means the player base are encouraged to vote for that game at an awards, any awards thing, specifically for that reward and not because they think it's the best game.
Yeah, it's the problem with that Genshin has had as well.
Yep.
So
All kinds of mobile games do that, and I hate it every time.
the funny thing is the character's name is Dr. Ratio. So lots of people were just talking about everybody got a free ratio. And as a result of this happening, Genshin and Honkai Star Rail are made by the same company, essentially, MiHoYo.
Yeah.
And so the rivalry and the making fun of the other because of how generous one is got to such a point that the Genshin subreddit shut down entirely.
That makes sense.
So there has been a war of sorts.
I
Of
will say unequivocally, Genshin is the better game, but holy shit, is it stingy.
mm. I've not played Genshin in a long time, but I have, I guess, personally enjoyed my time with Honkai Star Rail a lot more, and I do enjoy it quite a lot. So I mean, I like it. It's fun for me. I know it's not for everybody, but
Yeah, you are never going to get me to go to bat for watching the same ultimate animation 6,000 times.
mm,
Like,
I appreciate when games let you turn that off.
they let you speed it up in Star Rail, I will give it that much, but it is. It's a JRPG, it's a turn based RPG with gotcha levels of grind.
Ugh.
So, yeah, cannot stomach
mm.
that personally. Like, Genshin is still a gotcha game and thus also has gotcha levels of grind, but at least the gameplay is a little more active. Like you're doing stuff instead of watching the same canned animations.
I will say, that is true. One thing I really do like about Honkai is that they are continuously adding new ways to um, engage with the gameplay, whether it's adding tons of like unique or fun puzzles for different parts of the world or events and such. Lots of uniqueness with how they approach puzzles and different mini games and such,
Yep.
and the variety of end game content that they're adding, and the expanding on the roguelike mode more and more is actually really fun. So I like that.
Yeah. I would say a lot of the same things about Genshin. Uh, o- Literally the only problem was that they made it feel like none of it mattered. Like you would spend 20 minutes solving a puzzle with like uh, at the time that I quit, it was the lightning zone, so it was like lightning
Hmm.
puzzles with like relay points and such things. And you spend like 20 minutes figuring it out, like trying to get current flowing through an entire like gigantic ruin. And cool, you did that. You get 20 of the summon currency. It
Mm.
requires 160 for a single summon.
No, I haven't had any puzzles that are taking really quite that long, and I've found, at least in my experience, that Honkai Star Rail is much more generous.
Hmm.
Uh,
In fairness, Honkai Star Rail is in its first year still, I believe.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genshin was generous at the start too. That changed.
Hmm.
So I hope that continues for one of the games.
Yeah, I hope it continues. Even in the latest live stream, they announced that they're adding an additional endgame content mode that then refreshes every couple weeks, and you can get 720 of the gotcha currency just by completing it. It's like a few different stages.
Hmm.
Um, and so there's just adding more and more stuff for players to do that rewards them, and it's been an upwards trend in that regard. So if they suddenly become really stingy, that's gonna suck. But yeah, I have been in a sort of weird mobile game hyperfixation mood as of late.
Mm.
It happens. They're easy.
Yeah, I blitzed the freaking FGO lotto at like the last day, and then just have been bouncing between freaking mobile games because I've been working a lot this week
Hmm.
and teaching the children, and I don't have the energy to go up and boot up my Switch or my PS5 and play a game.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna sit here, put on a good YouTube video or documentary or something, and just play my little gotcha game.
Yeah. Code Geass one is still good.
You still playing it?
Yeah. I don't really
That's
need to
good.
talk about it more than that, but it's still a good game.
Yeah. And I am just like it's the holidays coming up, so everything is becoming increasingly busier as things have to be scheduled and you know having a lot of company over.
Yeah. At time of recording, it is my mom's birthday tomorrow, so as a result of that, I need to get all of the Christmas presents wrapped and ready to take round.
Oh,
Get all that stuff done. Oh well.
Yeah, I taught fifth grade, kindergarten, and second grade this week, and it was all pretty good days. There's no like crazy wild story of, oh, this happened or that happened. It was just a normal good week
Yeah.
of
I mean, this is the end of the term, I would assume.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really easy. Everybody's just waiting for it to go on vacation, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Though on the last Friday when I went to go sub, the PTA provided lunch for all the teachers, and I got to have like some actual warm and fresh chicken Alfredo.
that's
Oh,
nice.
you got to have food
Yeah,
at a
chicken Alf-
school. That's
They
yeah.
fed you.
Instead of my like just frantically packed lunch that I made at 6 a.m., I get to actually eat a full meal.
Relatable.
And that was fun. That was good. But yeah, like everything is, we're at the time of year where everything's just like, okay, more stuff in January. Okay, cool. January. Got it. What do I do? So, yeah. Anybody else have something they'd like to talk about?
Slicer, you got anything?
I played a lot of Hunt Showdown. That's
Hmm.
pretty much been what I do when I have spare time. Uh, so there's a lot of that, mostly that for the week. But yesterday I went to Fuga de Chao, which is I think it's Brazilian barbecue, that kind of restaurant where they have a pretty solid salad bar, and then they bring around like metal rods with meat skewered on them, and then you say if you want that or not, and they cut off a slice for you. It's incredibly good. A little pricey, and I definitely would not want to eat like that every week or even every other week. That was a lot of food, a lot of meat. But as a once in a while kind of thing, that was pretty great. Then we went to see the Nutcracker. I've never seen a ballerina performance like that, or any ballerina performance, in fairness. That was a lot of fun. A
It
little boring in
shows
parts because they
in
didn't follow
calling
the
it
story.
ballerina
But
instead of ballet, but yes.
that's fair. Yeah, a ballet performance. Yeah. But I'm really glad they had the story on the little pamphlet they give you because I had no idea what the fuck was happening.
Yeah.
The story was followable in the first half of the first act, and then after that it was just a fever dream, and then which is good because it was literally a fever dream. So that was a lot of fun. After that, it was just a bunch of I hesitate to call it bar hopping because we went to a bar, then we went to a barcade, and then like fuck, I don't even remember what we did after that. We hit up a pizza
That's
place.
usually what happens at a bar crawl. Yeah.
Yeah. We went to a pizza place that's known for like its insane combinations of pizza. So there's like pasta pizza.
Hmm.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I went boring because it was like 9:30 at night at that point. So I just grabbed like a barbecue pizza or a barbecue chicken. But yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Oh.
I saw the Scott Pilgrim show as well. I don't know if
Oh,
that was
okay,
this
cool.
week or last week, but like it's pretty good. I didn't realize how much my enjoyment of that series was based on Ramona's interest in the relationship. In the movie, she just doesn't seem like she's into it, and it completely changes the vibe of everything. In the show, she's very into it, and it makes it a lot better. Like the series is so much better than the movie.
I've
I
been
mean,
informed that I should fully finish the comics before I watch the show.
well, here's the thing. From my understanding, like I read the comics and I didn't watch the film, and I haven't seen the show. But my understanding from hearing other people talk about all three is that they're actually three very different stories. They're not the same thing.
Mm.
Like the film is a wacky comedy more than anything else, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
the show is specifically about Ramona as a person, whereas the comics were about Scott as a person, specifically about how he's a piece of shit that needs to grow up and become a decent human being,
Accurate.
yes.
and him figuring that out over time, which the show seems less to be about, and from what I've seen and heard about it. So
It
you
is
know,
it is definitely a exploration of pretty much all of the characters, but Ramona mostly.
yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's not the same story, and if you treat it like it's not the same story, then you're probably gonna enjoy it. Like I've heard very good things.
Hmm. Yeah, that's on my list of things I want to watch, but because I was told, oh well, you need to if you're gonna really enjoy this, you should fully like finish the comics before watching this. And I'm like,
No,
oh, well, I almost finished the comic years ago. I have to start over.
yeah, no, you don't need to.
No.
Like
Yeah.
they didn't write this show believing that everyone who watches it read the comics.
Hmm.
If anything, they wrote this show believing everyone saw the movie.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
the show in universe lampshades what happened. Like it's about what happens if things happen differently. Like they're very blatant about it.
Hmm. And yeah, no, it's the movie had some the way it adapted the story was very weird in a few ways.
This is a funny scenario was the way that they adapted the movie.
Yes, with a huge focus on um, the boss fights of the evil X's,
Yeah.
but that's not really what it's actually about. You
Yeah.
know?
No,
No,
the
it's not.
show makes that very clear.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to watch that then. I got like that plus I have to watch Pluto on Netflix.
Mm.
The dog?
No, no, no.
Oh.
Uh,
The planet? Toid?
not quite. I believe it's related to Astro Boy
Hmm.
Okay.
in some way. It's gotten really good reviews. My friends who have watched it have gone nuts over it. Um, and it's yeah, I've just heard it's just really good animated 8 episode show.
Hmm.
So
Speaking of
I'm
Netflix,
gonna, yeah.
you know how the One Piece TV show did really, really well?
Uh huh.
Netflix agreed, and apparently so did Toei Animation. And that whole, hey, the anime is like 1,000 and something episodes, and no one really wants to invest all that time in dealing with all of the filler and the incredibly slow pacing. So what if we make it again? So yeah, they're doing
Yeah.
a One Piece anime remake, while the current anime is still ongoing, mind you.
Apparently,
Go.
they just greenlit the Blue Sea arc so far. So, like, what the live action show covered, I think, if I'm understanding that right.
There's a little bit more than the live action, but yes.
I assume
Uh,
that's one of those things of like, we'll see how it does, we'll see how it fares, and then go from there.
Given how everything else has gone for it, for like One Piece is getting its moment right now, so I feel
Yeah.
like yeah, it's gonna do pretty okay. And they're getting the animation studio who did Spy X Family to do it, so that's cool.
Ooh. All right.
That's. I think it's gonna come out great. I mean, when this is kind of a rare instance in which a show has been running for so long
Approximately 25 years, yes.
that like yeah, no, I completely see the sense in let's give it a good old glow up. Let's cut the filler and make a concise uh at least intro, you
I mean,
know.
that's just a new audience you're getting right there. After
Yeah.
25 years, that's a new slew of people.
Hmm.
And to be clear, they have tried something like this before. Like there are effectively recap movies for a couple of the arcs of the anime, but they didn't really work out that well
Yeah.
because they were movies, so they had to cut out a lot more than is really ideal.
I see.
So you can't exactly it's hard to also market oh hey, go see this recap movie to people who haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like, hey, get this much less interesting experience of the thing that everyone is telling you to watch when you could just watch the original. You're not going to, but you're not really going to go for the lesser experience either. It's kind
Hmm.
of stuck in the middle for the audience kind of thing. You get the good experience, or you get the shitty experience that doesn't take you 30 hours. It's like no one particularly. They both have demerits that make them equally unappealing.
Hmm.
But a show that actually takes proper time to tell the story as the story is and not have to drag the pace to nothing for the sake of not catching up with the manga.
Yeah.
Like they have 25 years, like it's the 25th anniversary celebration, so 25 years of story to catch up on before they will be in danger of outpacing the manga. So I think they're gonna be okay. Not to mention that's not how shows work anymore. Like the long running shows are just not a thing that happens, with a couple of notable I think it's just Bort and Black Clover might do it as well. I'm not sure.
Not
No, I
entirely.
haven't. I haven't followed Black Clover at all, so I couldn't tell you.
I was under the assumption they did seasons with Black Clover now.
Yeah. So, that's they don't do shows that are just every week no matter what happens anymore. That's not a thing.
Hmm.
So, if, they run out of material or they want more time to do a decent job with the animation, which was also a problem with the original run, then they can take that time and just do it properly. So,
Yeah.
good things all around.
Did things get kind of sloppy with the animation in places?
Oh boy.
Mm.
Oh man, I'm excited for some of the upcoming anime.
Mm?
Specifically, Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon. Coming out January 4th. Going to be really, really good. Studio Trigger's got it, and the story of Dungeon Meshi, which is a completed manga, is just really excellent. Thematically, the themes carry all the way from beginning to end. And it's all about food.
Oh, well, sweet.
It's all about making, basically cooking monsters in the dungeon, essentially. But there's the overarching story of this party that essentially one of their party members gets eaten by a dragon, and they have to retreat. And so they are trying to venture down to the level they were before, while trying to basically save their friend, which is one of the party members' sister, before she gets fully digested.
Okay.
And yep, because it's fantasy style. If they have a body, they can res her, basically.
Oh, okay. So thank God she's actually dead already.
Yes, she's actually dead. They're just hoping to get like
A part of her. That's
Yes.
a lot. Okay. I thought she was alive and just suffering this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be good either way. Like, she's probably still going to remember the whole being eaten thing, and I imagine that's not a good time.
No.
That's some therapy bills in anime Magic Land.
So while the party is venturing down, they're eating monsters because they don't have the money to afford just stocking up on rations because their last dive into the dungeon really failed. So, and one dude's really enthusiastic about eating monsters and making dishes with them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Fair enough. Waste not, want not, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
really, really good. Like genuinely, the writing and the storytelling is really good and goes to a lot of very interesting places. So that's like my most excited for of the upcoming season, more so than some of the more hyped up ones. Because I know everybody's very excited about the solo leveling anime.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Okay.
I hope it's well done.
I'm very sick of video game systems.
It's I don't believe it's actually a video game system.
It is. I mean, well, sort of. It's not a video game, but it does run off like ranks and XP and
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. They
That's
do
what
that
I mean.
stuff. Solo leveling. The thing that it's most known for is the art was really pretty.
It was that.
And I did read Solo Leveling. The story is not exactly anything to write home about, but it looks nice. People are going to be using GIFs of it for years.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of I'm kind of in a mode where like I want to see the stuff that I really want to see is like 2024. What time? 2024. When's the release date? Sometime in 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Very helpful. We're getting another weird a weird isekai though. Quite a few of them, but one
what's that one about?
Okay, so this weird one is reincarnating in another world as a hot springs.
All right. That just seems kind of boring eventually. Might be interesting for a very short time.
I feel like I just want the hey, it's a funny sentence and we're gonna make a show about it, or the books or fucking whatever. Like, it's a funny sentence. It's not enough to fucking base a full thing on. Please stop. Like, the joke has run its we've had so fucking many of these. Sorry, I got a bit agitated about that, but like, come on.
Yep. And then there's the isekai where I read the title and I feel myself take psychic damage.
Yeah.
Stuff like the weakest tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Is like, okay, weakest but actually the strongest, right? Or my instant death ability is so overpowered. Let me read the full. No one in this other world stands a chance against me.
Right.
Okay, cool.
I love a story that doesn't have a story. It's great.
I love no tension. I've also read fan fiction.
It's gotten to the point where I'm just looking for unique titles now. A title that's not just a sentence that explains the single concept your story has. A title that you actually put some thought into. And that's my mark of I can be interested in that.
Yeah. 90% of this is high concept. Like, all right, that's fine. That's what high concept means, by the way, is just you can summarize the entire plot with a single sentence. People misinterpret that sometimes, but like thinking high concept means really cerebral, and no, that's not what it means.
The opposite usually.
Yeah.
Or can be.
So that's what it is. It's just high concept. It is a sentence, and then we're building off of that sentence. The thing is, it's usually a shit sentence. Like, high concept does not preclude you from having a shit concept. That's so.
It's like looking at some of these things. I'd be more. There's this one that looks really cool. It's like a Studio Bones sci-fi. It's called Metallic Rouge. And it's about humans and androids. And I'm like, that's cool. That could be pretty cool. Yeah. Sure, I'll give that a shot. Right? And then then you have the instant death ability one, where it's just like, okay, cool.
It's a gold rush. It's what it is. It's everyone is going down to California, Colorado, wherever the fuck gold was. I don't remember. And everyone goes down there to mine gold. Why? And then like 60 years or so later, people start to wonder, why do we actually want gold again? Because it's shiny. Oh, okay. Does it do anything else? Be shiny? Not really. It's just pretty.
Yeah, just a lot of that.
I noticed the pickaxe salesman is actually kind of way more rich than the rest of us trying to chase this gold rush, because he's selling things that actually have a use that people want. So, it's that, but anime bullshit.
Yeah. Like, I thought we were nearing the end when we actually got to the vending machine isekai. I thought surely we're approaching the end.
Yeah, that is the point where it got to parody of a parody.
Yeah.
And now we're just at masturbation, basically, is where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the fun kind of masturbation.
I mean, there's gonna be some. There is
I
gonna
don't.
be like, yeah.
I'm so curious if things like this actually sell well, or if it's just the market is so dominated by them that it's like you can't. It doesn't matter.
It. I'm
It,
always looking for manga to read, for light novels and such to read, and it has gotten to a point in which I swear I cannot. I'm having trouble finding stuff that I like that is like quality amidst a sea of um, isekai, otherworld, power fantasy everywhere.
yeah, it's a gold rush. It's just thousands upon thousands of people are going into wherever the fuck gold was found, and they're swinging pickaxes at the ground, and they're panning in the rivers, and like some of them maybe will find a few flecks of gold, and good for them. And then everyone else will work incredibly hard and get absolutely fuck all return for it because they're looking for that one incredible break that makes all of it, that turns it into a lottery win. That's all it is. It's gambling on the big trend long after
Mm.
the trend has run its course. Like, so that's how this sort of thing works. It's just
Hmm.
how it is. Someone finds a thing and it becomes a big success, and then everyone copies it, hoping to do exactly the same thing by offering the exact same thing. It's not really how it works.
I want to read stories that make me feel emotions.
Hmm.
And the short-lived emotion of, oh, that's so cool, is kind of empty and hollow. Of like, oh, this character's super cool. They're super strong.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
not
Are they
even
gonna
that
ever
cool,
be
though,
pushed?
anymore.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
right.
If there's
Exactly.
1,000 of them, then who cares? They're all doing the exact same thing.
I want to see characters pushed to their limits. I don't want to see, this is actually my seventh life, and I've mastered all of the things. So
No one wants to see Goku at Super Saiyan fighting like Master Roshi in the 20-somethingth martial arts tournament. No one cares. That is such a ridiculous proposition that there is no story there.
yeah, there's there's a
I did specify Super Saiyan there, right? I didn't,
yeah
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Just checking because I thought I'd like misspoke.
Feels like there's just less actual stories, and make me sad, but that's okay. It's,
The
we're
actual
getting
stories are still, like you said, the Rouge one that you mentioned. Like
yeah.
there are still actual stories. It's just everything is being flooded by so much crap.
Mm-hmm.
So
And everybody sees, oh, I like this, so I want to make my own version of this or my own version of that with my own twist or thing on it. And this character is just kind of like this character from this other thing, but I like them because they're in my series, and this entire twist on it is kind of like this thing and that thing, but honestly, no, mine's different because I say so. And
because my dark-haired protagonist in a black coat has gray eyes instead of brown.
oh,
Yeah. And his trench coat only goes to his ankle. It goes to his ankles instead of his knees.
Yeah. His swords are a different color. Both of them.
That's a real one.
Yeah. So, I think that concludes the old men yelling at clouds segment of the podcast.
I've gotten to the point where I am now old enough to be at the point where like Casey was when we started this podcast and was yelling at clouds.
Yeah.
So now I get to yell at clouds.
Yeah.
We're all old.
Yeah.
It's shocking to me that I'm the oldest one in my friend group. Well, one of the oldest.
Don't worry, we're all getting older. Okay.
Just wait until you're the oldest one in the friend group to the point of, why he's just lonely. Just let him hang out. It's cool.
Oh no. Oh, that one hurts. Any interesting plans for the holidays? Because our next 2 days that we would record are literally on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so we're not doing that. Well,
Yeah.
maybe New Year's. We don't know yet.
I will be back in another state, so
Yeah, going home.
that's my plan. Yeah.
Well, I say going home. It's not really home anymore.
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
parents' home.
been out of the house long enough, so my parents' place or family place, honestly, since everyone
Yeah.
lives there.
I'm gonna have a rotating door of family members coming in and out.
Is that a good thing?
It's gonna be Christmas. Here comes, my uncle and my cousin, and then they leave, and then friends of the family, they come over for New Year's, and then they leave, and then
It's great. It's social fatigue.
Yeah.
yeah.
Both things can be true. Yeah, I'm just going around to my parents for Christmas dinner, and that's pretty much it.
It's understandable.
I don't really do anything for New Year's at all. Like, oftentimes I am trying to sleep through the fireworks.
Like even today, I'm gonna have to be after this podcast. I'm gonna immediately have to get ready to go and leave because we're doing an early Christmas service. At the church, like they'll do it a week early, which fair. People might be really busy during the week of Christmas,
And probably want to spend most of that time with their family. So
yeah.
that's pretty considerate of them. I'll give them that.
And so I'm gonna go do that, but it's a big church, so it's gotta go wait out in the cold for a few hours before it actually starts
Ugh.
to get seats. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that. It's been freezing over here.
California.
Yeah, I'm in North California. We don't get the warmness of South California.
That is a fair point.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that California is like 1,000 miles long.
It's
Yeah, it's
super
big.
long.
Big old state.
North California and South California might as well be completely different states with like how they are, the experience of living in them.
Is California actually taller than Texas? I guess I never really thought about that before.
I'm curious. It is how long? It's 1,040 miles long.
Go me for that guess.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, and how tall is how long is Texas? 800 miles. Yes, it's longer than Texas by a wide margin.
I am so curious about the autocompletes for how long is Texas?
How long is Texas in hours? How long is Texas north to south? How tall is Texas?
How long is it in hours? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to assume whoever put that in initially would be looking for like if there's a different time zone in Texas, being charitable here.
Is
I
there
think
a,
it's
is
how
there a
many hours it
film
takes to
or
drive.
TV show called Texas? There probably is.
It's Texas
Uh,
Ranger.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's been so cold that I've been every morning I wake up and I had to go to work. My car was frozen over.
I
Oof.
was right. There is a 1941 film called Texas.
Yep, not surprised. Actually, I am a little surprised they were able to get away with calling a movie a state,
It's
having the same name.
just think about any time you need a picture of somebody's knuckles, and you type in human knuckles, and you get the Sonic character.
And you type in human
Names.
Knuckles and you get a picture of Knuckles if he was
Yeah,
a person. It's just
exactly.
a dude with red hair and dreadlocks or something.
It's like that's not a hand. Oh gosh. Oh, search engines. Names of characters. Everything confusing. I Yeah. Hopefully, it'll get warmer because I was just shivering nonstop this morning. So cold. Because hey, guess what? We're in California, which means we don't have insulation. Very good.
Yeah.
Our walls are thin, and our heaters are weak.
But California's hot. Why would you need... Yeah.
Yeah. South California, they're having a nice time. It's like what 60 degrees over there. They're good, right?
It's a little chilly, but, they can handle it.
Over here, we're dropping, below freezing, and just waking up with minimal protection.
Blankets.
I need more blankets. Honestly, my 2 blankets are not enough anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And hot cocoa. I need hot cocoa. I need to suck up on hot cocoa.
And that's just a staple.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee, so the only hot drink that I could possibly have is either tea or hot cocoa.
Oh, I see.
Hot water or hot squash, that's, that's still a viable option.
Hmm.
You know what? I feel like hot water bottles have, kind of fallen out of favor. There's still a place for them, surely.
Yeah, they're not as much a thing anymore. Yeah, could be. I used to have a heater in my room.
Like space heater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it broke.
Yeah, they do that. I mean, over time they just burn out.
So, unlike my room is the only bedroom in the house that is not fully carpeted. I got wood flooring.
Interesting.
So, cold wood flooring. I have a rug that's laid out like a carpet. Yeah, but not it's not fully carpeted.
Can I just point out, we ended the old men yelling at clouds segment to begin the segment about old men complaining about the temperature. We are within a hair's breadth of talking about what our preference is for the thermostat.
I don't have one, so there you go. Feel free to weigh in and talk about it. We're here now.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh. We're getting there. We're getting there. I don't want to think about time. It's a cruel mistress. Well, for now, I think I gotta start heading out, so we can
Yeah,
probably wrap up here.
I've got nothing else. I played Fable Anniversary. That's still a neat game and stuff. That's fine, whatever. I don't think we need to talk about like the game that came out in 2005 for any particular length of time. So
That's fair. It was a well done compilation. There you go. It was fun.
2005 was 18 years ago.
yep,
Yeah.
that game is old enough to drink in England. Sorry, you Yanks with you.
I'm
Weird.
rapidly turning. I'm rapidly turning to dust.
Okay, we did Patreon last week, so that's cool. It's fine.
I told a kid, a second grader, about Tony Hawk for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, they had these little toy skateboards, and I was like, "Hey, do you know of Tony Hawk?" And they're like, "Who's that?" And I looked at one of the skateboards, said Tony Hawk on it, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no."
I mean, even the fairly old like skating games don't really have. I don't even know if Tony Hawk's in them.
He's becoming like cave paintings.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. Like when you were growing up, did you know who Babe Ruth was, except for old people talking about Babe Ruth? Like that's what it is now. That's Tony Hawk.
Can't wait for Tony Hawk to be added into Fate Grand Order. And passing into myth.
He is literally half Hawk as a servant because he's the Birdman.
Top half is all Hawk, bottom half is skateboards.
He makes tornadoes by doing 900 spins.
Quick type servant. AoE NP.
I'm so old. Discord and Patreon links in the description. Let's feel bad about ourselves for the remainder of 2023.
Hell yeah!
I never thought I'd
Gotta
make
be
it to this year.
sad.
Bye, everybody.
Well,
Bye.
we're here now. Deal with it. See you guys.